Today, I'm going to teach you how to play Mirage like a pro and give you all the meta, all the insights, all the tips and tricks that you're going to need to succeed. And we're going to talk about just the overall macro and your goals that you should be trying to do each round on Mirage and how to play as both a CT and a T side. Now, I made a video on how to play Inferno. You guys absolutely killed it. You guys supported that video so much, so I decided to make a video on Mirage. So again, guys, if this video gets 200 likes, I will do a part 2 on Mirage. So thank you very much. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Let's get into it. So Mirage, it's a very simple map, right? And like Inferno, it's very simple on the surface, but the deeper and deeper you can go into it, it can become so complex and very, have lots of moving parts and ways to play it, right? So on the T side, let's talk about that first. I think the main objective on T side first should be getting mid control, right? If you can get mid on Mirage T side, it's going to make the CT's job so much more difficult, right? So what that means is we need to make sure we're throwing top mid smoke, right? However you want to throw it, just get up there, throw one, throwing a window smoke, whatever. Just throwing smokes to give yourself cover so that you can get out of this chokehold top mid, whether that be window or tier, whatever, and that you can get to boxes, right? Now, once you get to boxes, this gives you more of a foothold and more of a way to work around mid, and you can be a lot more deadly, right? It makes it so that the CTs kind of have to back off and pressure, right? So with this, it's always good to molly connector to make sure that the CTs can't do anything. That's a little bad, but you can just throw it on the run too and make sure it lands up there. Molly off connector so they can't peek you. The CTs are probably going to throw a smoke down here, but we'll talk about CT side in a bit. Anyways, you just want to get footholds, right? You want to get positions like here, Delpan, boxes. You want to get to positions like that, and you want to make sure you're using your utility to do that, right? Because once you're set up in these positions, it's really going to give you a foothold and a way to get into the round, right? Now, however you guys want to do it, you can watch videos, you can look up, where to throw it. Throwing a top connector smoke is going to be your key to succeeding in mid on T side, right? Learn a top connector smoke, throw that for your teammates or have your teammates throw it for you, because one, it allows you to take connector, right? So you have the top con smoke, you're able to sit boxes up here and flash into connector for your teammates. Boom, flash, double peek, now you have connector. Again, you're just advancing forward, you're taking more and more space, right? But also with that top con smoke, when that is up, it blocks off vision from A site, allowing you to take cat control, right? Maybe you re-smoke window, maybe you flash cat, boom, flash, have a teammate flash you into ladder, flash. Now you have ladder control. See how it's all about phases and taking control of these sections of the map, connector and ladder. Connector and ladder are going to be your pivot points, right? They're going to be your areas where you can rotate freely and cut off rotations, right? If you can get into these positions, it's going to make your sight hits so much better. Now let's talk about sight hits now that we understand why mid control is so important. But also guys, first, sorry, I forgot one thing. Also, boosting in the window is super good. Boosting up here quietly is going to help you out so much because again, it's just a cutoff point. You can also flank. If these are broken, you can flank B site, flank A site, cut off rotations, just be such a pain for the other team to deal with. Now let's talk about sight hits. So now that we know how to control mid, it is so important we understand how to hit sites. So first on B, let's talk about that. On B site, there's many ways you can do it. It is kind of a hard site to hit if you're just going out of apps. That's why it's good to have that cat player to split with you, but you need to be able to scale quickly and effectively. I'm not going to go over full strats for B, but generally if you're going to rush B or you're going fast out B, the first player wants to scale out window here and do that. Be hard to kill with flashes coming over and doing this, have players throwing these for you, whatever, throwing flash, blah blah blah, like that, and you're jumping out scaling window, right? Maybe another guy can do that too, but the rest of the people should be scaling out here on plat, scaling out like trying to play Overwatch, right? Fighting all these angles and doing that, right? So when you do this, guys, it's so important that you go with speed. You trade, you're effective in doing this, because what happens in games is a lot of times we're gonna hit B, they jump spot us or something, and then everyone wants to stay grouped in this area. Everyone wants to stay grouped here, and it's just so hard. In reality, the only person that should really stay grouped up here is the opper, so that he can post on market window if it's not smoked and continually get kills and frags that way. So my biggest tip about B site is just to be effective, be fast, be as fast paced as you can be, and be relentless. Now let's talk about A. It's a little bit harder on A site because it's or easier because it's a bigger site, more options. But generally what you want to do is either smoke off both of these sides and CT for a full exec, right? You have a full exec right here with flashes coming over, maybe a guy in palace mauling under balk like this. Oh, not like that, but mauling under balk. There you go. in scaling out, right? Because you have the whole site smoked off. It's really hard for them to hold, and these site players are going to have to drop a defensive smoke or something. So, you know, it's very, very effective. Or another strategy is you can just smoke top con, molly off jungle on the fly, like as you're coming out here, molly off jungle, and you know, you play for that, and you try to get the bomb down here so that you can plant for mid. This is the best bomb plant spot for middle. This is the second best because it also helps you for ramp and palace, I guess. This is the best bomb plant spot for like ramp and CT. And then this is just the safest bomb plant spot, and it gives you the least amount of options, but it's still good if you take CT control, which taking CT control is very good on T side. Having someone flash you in, have someone throw a flash, you know, you just, not like that, but up here, and you take CT control. Very solid, right? Very, very solid. Now, let's briefly talk about CT side. You know, it's a little bit easier. It's all about denying their mid control, right? So one trick I like to do, if they're smoking off window every round, you throw this molly, because when the window smoke comes in, it's going to put it out, allowing you to play around this, right? Now you have vision, and they're just going to run out into you, right? So as a CT, just like I told you on T side, you want to get boxes. It's so important that you know how to molly boxes. You know how to fight for this control, and you just get ready for these aggro plays that are going to come in, right? So, you know, if you're rifling, you're up here in ladder room maybe doing these things, but what's so important is coordinated peeks, right? And also having this bottom connector smoke up as much as you can is going to save you, right? So coordinated peeks is going to be what's going to win you, right? So maybe you want to peek middle, so you're like, hey, flash over mid, and somebody's chilling here, flash over mid. You know, as that flash pops, boom, we're peeking out, we're doing our thing. Maybe the opera comes out and peeks, and boom, we're doing that, right? And maybe a cat player swings at the same time. You want to have coordinated flash peeks because it's so vital, right? You can play aggressive setups, like you can have an opera, you know, posted underpass maybe, or even a rifler sitting here holding under. I like to throw this one way. Sorry, I'm listing off a whole bunch of tricks you guys can use. This one way is so sick. Play anti, they can't see you, trust me, they cannot see you down there. But essentially mid is just so important, where one person is holding underpass from any angle. Could be connector, could be up here, or up here, there we go. Sorry, could be up here, whatever it is, and then the other person is holding top mid, right? So it could be an opera posted here, it could be an opera posted here, whatever it is, you just have both areas covered, and it allows you to rotate back into the sites. Now, site players, this is where it's very important. So if you are a site player, you should be, you know, if your teammates are fighting heavy for mid, you're probably going to be playing retake, right? You're just getting info, you're jump spotting, you're doing your thing. Same exact thing on B site, right? A lot of B players, you're just jump spotting the whole round, right? Site players on Mirage, you need to be hard to kill. As soon as you take contact, you need to be dropping down a smoke and just being a little rat. You need to be so sneaky, so hard to kill, and you're just delaying, right? But with that being said, if your mid players are yelling like, hey guys, there's 4 guys out mid. Well, if I'm a side player, you know, I might take a risk. I might push into palace and get this early flank on, right? If I can flank this and get all this information, it shrinks the map down. It makes our life so much easier, right? Same thing on B, man. If they're like, hey man, 4 out mid, or maybe 5, it's a 5 rush. I can come through Absent, and now the map is shrink down, and I can flank underpass. I can flank top mid. It gives us so many more options. So use information on your CT side to give yourself options, because it's going to help you out so much. And, you know, besides doing gimmicks and tricks, that's going to be your meta, is constantly getting that information through flash peeks, you know, doing all kinds of stuff like flashing underpass for your teammates. Flash peek, okay guys, nothing under. Flash peeking mid, okay guys, nothing mid. I mollied boxes, nothing there. All right, man, I pushed through A, nothing here. Or there is, you know, it's not always gonna be nothing there. Hey, I pushed through A, there's 3 guys here. Now our B player has that information, he can make decisions off that. So always just updating information and shifting into setups, right? 3A setup is really good, where you have like a guy under balk, you have a guy playing site somewhere doing his thing, and maybe you have an opper, you know, ticket, or, you know, one of the riflers instead pushed A ramp. So I'll just constantly get information and update your setups based on what the T's are getting, because just like I told you guys on T side how important this control is and stuff, it's important as CTs to understand what control the T's have and how we can respond based off of it. And guys, I have lots of guides on my channel that will help you understand these concepts. I'd recommend you go check them out. This video gets 200 likes, I will do a part 2 on this Mirage Pro guide, and, you know, just explaining how you should play the map, because there's so much we could get into. So 200 likes and I'll do another part 2 on this video. Make sure to check out my Inferno guide. Lots of cool tips and tricks on my channel, guys, and I'm live, you know, very frequently. So check out my Twitch if you ever want to get live feedback and input from me. I'm always here for you guys. So twitch.tv/CoJoMoCS. Don't miss out. Catch me when I'm live and I'll say hi to you. So peace out, guys. Have a great day. I'll catch you all later.